I feel like, honestly, like I'm in my prime now, which is kind of weird. Maybe 30 is the new 20. The injury kind of reset me a little bit. It allowed me to have a lot of time off and think about my habits.
I feel like if you have a big injury like a labrum tear or an ACL or something like that, that's the only way to come back, is to come back as your former self, if not better.
Conner Mooneyham, the legend, watch him go!
Welcome to US Rugby Happy Hour Live. Interviews with the biggest names in American rugby.
Third consecutive MLR championship, and Team USA make history in Paris.
USA Rugby is heading to Australia.
Here are your hosts, Bill Baker and that other guy.
Hello and welcome to Sunday Night Rugby. Oh wait, hold on, wrong show. This is US Rugby Happy Hour. Hello,
you
John.
gonna be Jingle?
Been meaning to tell you, we are now on Outdoor Network, which is no longer a station, but we're the only show on that. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. I understand you got in trouble over the weekend by the Chicago Hounds.
So okay. Kudos to the Chicago Hounds for dragging me and it was all in good fun. I enjoyed it. Dragging me over my doinking of the pick of Legion. I said doink on purpose for picking Legion to beat Chicago. Obviously, Chicago took it to Legion.
Right.
But if you watch that episode of MLR Weekly, not even 30 seconds before all of that, I literally talked about how Chicago was one of the top contenders in the competition. Then they had to go and drag me like that. I mean, I got a wife and kids here, man. Like, I got a fragile ego.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
You got to pay for that private school education and whatever else you're doing, right? Man, if they took this rugby gig away from you, that would be... Well, John, I'm excited about today. I've got another great guest joining us who was actually, a while back, he was on another version of the show. We talked to him early on. So it's really exciting to get to catch up again with him. And I just, overall right now, if it's the other than, my favorite team not, doing too well, I've been excited about MLR this year. I love that Anthem has gotten their first win, 2 wins. And I love that Houston looks good. Not Houston, sorry. Chicago looks good. California, all the teams look good. The Free Jacks looked okay on Saturday. They obviously lost to Old Glory. They didn't look horrible, right? Had a bad game against Legion, but they have something there, and that's a brand new team. So they should get better as it goes. But we'll see. But I do like the level of play in the entire league, and should be fun to see what happens this weekend.
There's some fun storylines that have emerged so far, and I think the biggest one, and why we'll be talking with Con here in a little bit, is that the narrative about Anthem has changed from are they going to get their first win to, hey, they're a contender. And let's see where this goes, because it's good for MLR, and I think it's good for the men's Eagles too. So exciting.
Well, with that said, let's introduce our guest in the way that no other rugby podcast in this country does, I think. I don't know. I don't listen to them all. Roll it.
Yeah, the number 1 pick coming through. First ever drafted, setting the tone for the league. He's a cornerstone, a lot of first for this man. Leading the franchise with the ball in his hand. That's a brace of tries on his 30th. Moving with that speed, the electric threat on the wing, fulfilling every need. Eagle 573, you know the name now. Conner Mooneyham, Anthem Rugby's pride now. Let's welcome him to the show. Let's go. Conner Mooneyham, the legend, watch him go.
Oh,
Conner.
Dang, I need to get my hands on that song. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. We'll
right?
see. Our people will contact your people and get you a copy.
Cool.
Conner, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. We finished up some training today. Just putting our game behind us and ready for DC this weekend.
Well, Conner, let's jump right into it. I mean, let's just back up for a second and jump into now. You clearly, we're not going to rehash it, but you've clearly had your fair share of injuries. But you seem to have this extra gear this year. You started the season off strong, brace of tries against the Legion, week 1. Again, that extra gear I'm seeing on the broadcast, how would you rate your personal form right now compared to where you were perhaps at this time last year?
I think that the injury kind of reset me a little bit. It allowed me to have a lot of time off and think about my habits, and I took my nutrition really seriously, and I took my PT really seriously in the off season. And obviously, I had a long time to kind of think about rugby, and that pent up thinking about the sport just kind of gets me right back into it. So yeah, I think that has a lot to do with my play this year.
Yeah.
Now, Conner, maybe this is maybe a time. You recently celebrated your 30th birthday, I believe, a few weeks ago at the end of March. Congratulations on reaching 3 decades. Bill may be a little further past me on that one, but yeah. How's it feel turning 30? I mean, you talked a little bit about there, but you approach the game differently. But hey, is 30 the new 20? Like,
yeah. I made a joke on the day I woke up. I felt like I gained some wisdom in the bed there in LA. I felt like I woke up and I just felt a little bit different. But no, all jokes aside, I think that I feel like, honestly, like I'm in my prime now, which is kind of weird. Maybe 30 is the new 20. You take a look at the Springbok team that won the World Cup, and like their average age was 34 or something like that. So people are playing the game for longer than they were before, and a lot of credit is to modern medicine.
All right, Conner, let's talk a little bit about the Anthem squad this year. Certainly, we got to talk about reached a couple of franchise milestones this year. Obviously, the first win, and then the first win at home. Just this past weekend against Seattle. I guess how much of a relief was it when that final whistle blew in California in Week 1 to secure that franchise victory?
Yeah, it almost felt like a Super Bowl game for us in a sense, which is kind of sad because it's like, dang, did it really need to feel that way? Obviously, it was only Week 1. Yeah, kind of just got that monkey off the back where we needed that first win because, as you guys know, in professional sports, when you start losing games, it's really, really hard to come back from that because no team wants to lose to a team that's lost every game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, obviously, it's for you guys for the last couple of years, it had to build up the frustration of not being able to pull off that win. Thankfully now, but you're currently second in the standings, tied in points with Chicago. I mean, has the conversation turned at all? Hey, we could do this. We could not just get the playoffs, but be title contenders, or is it more okay? Everyone, calm down. Let's just go game at a time.
I think that's always been the plan. Our GM and coaching staff kind of stated that in the preseason. They're like, look, this is a squad that we've built and we know are contenders, and we're going to make a playoff push. That was always the messaging. It was never like, oh, let's just get our first win and then we'll see what goes from there. It was always like, nah, we're going to be in it.
And being in it is, you guys are by far leading the league in tackling and defensive play. Is that something Cuca said to you guys early on? Listen, we're gonna get our feet on the ground. We are gonna hit people. We're gonna tackle. We're not gonna miss tackles. We are gonna win by scoring, but also win by playing defense.
Yeah, I think we've had a few lapses the past couple of weeks in our defense and our connection, especially. Will be numbers down and people just won't be on the same page and there'll be a little bit of a gap. But one thing that we've all been impressed on is our bench. And when they come on and the presence that they kind of bring to the field and the big hits that they bring, it just doesn't drop our level of play at all. It only elevates it. So that's been something that's been huge for us.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about the coach, Agustin Cuca Cavalieri. I think I pronounced that correct me. But let's talk Cuca, right? Like, it seems like he's brought maybe like a fresh energy to the squad. You mentioned a couple of things there. How would you, in your words, how would you describe his coaching style? Is he more technical, the X's and O's, or is it more of like the mental side, psychological, cultural side of building up a team?
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, he's from Argentina, and so he's very emotional in what he does and how he coaches. And then it's funny, there's a little bit of that language barrier like early on in the week because he's speaking 3 languages at home. He's speaking English, Italian, Spanish. So like you see it on those Mondays when you're coming in, you're like, oh, come on, Cuca, let's go. Like, get your English back up. And then it picks up and it's all good. But either way, he gets his message across. And I think that it's been like a breath of fresh air for him because last year he took over the team late in the season. We'd been losing every single game, so he couldn't really do what he wanted to. And this year, you can see he's really just doing what he wants.
you mentioned the pride of like the reserves, the guys that are coming in, in the second half, or helping out the starters there, so that grit and that performance there. I think Cuca has been quoted saying, work is the most important word that we can use. I mean, how demanding is it when it comes to effort and discipline with the team?
I mean, if you look at discipline, we have not been super good. This past week, I think we had 18 penalties. So that's something that we're definitely trying to work on in this upcoming week. I mean, it's tough to win games when you have that many penalties, to be completely honest. So yeah, we definitely got to get our discipline up, but he's liking the hits and the brutality and the effort so far.
I'm curious about your training situation. Are you training at Charlotte Rugby RFC's facility full time, or you train elsewhere? So how does that work though? Because that's this time of year it's more of a dirt pitch, but that's I played in those years ago. I think you played in years ago over life years, whatever, that kind of thing too. But how does that work out? Because you're training on grass, but most of your matches are on turf.
We're basically training on turf. It's a tough
it's hard
pitch.
right now. I know.
It's tough. Yeah. You don't want to leave your moldies at home. I'll tell you that.
No. By the way, Fitzy, Charlotte was one of the first clubs in the South to have their own clubhouse, and it is what it is. All right, and I may have not had a few beers there a few times. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the players around you, Conner. Anthem is unique for its focus on the Eagles' future. We're seeing young guys like Will Sherman, obviously Elias Garza, Seth. Alex Hernandez making waves with the club in MLR. Which of these young guys, or if you don't want to call out one or two, that's fine, I get it. But which of these young guys have surprised you the most with perhaps their professional standards so far? Getting used to this play.
Yeah, honestly, I've been really impressed with all of them that we've drafted this year. In particular, Will Sherman and Campbell Robb, and you see it. They've been starting games for us, and they've just kind of dove right into professional rugby, and they're real humble guys as well. Actually, all of our young guys are real humble, so like they take information really well and they take criticism well. So that's the most important thing, in my opinion. If you're going to come into the league and be cocky and arrogant and not try to learn anything, then like you're just not going to get far. Yeah. But these guys, like, they're hungry for it, so it's been good to work with them.
Oh, when you look at Will comes from I'm going to say a professional style atmosphere of college rugby, like you did with Life. Yep. One of the original of those big programs, I think. Is that one reason why, say, someone like Will is just like boom, starting first match, getting going? Yeah,
and I think that he's also worked with Cuca as well. I believe Campbell has as well, just in their like U23 tours. Because I actually talked to him early on. I was like, man, these guys are really impressing me. And he's like, no, like I've already known, because they're beasts in the gym, beasts on the field. So like, yeah. It just has been easy for them. But yeah, Will Sherman, you can start calling him Ralphie. So just for the future. I don't know, something.
Just go with it. You don't like
doesn't Will? Love it, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Just call him Ralphie.
Nice. We'll get him back on. We'll call him Ralphie.
Yeah, please.
Kind of a lot of exciting options there. The back three for Anthem, yourself included, Malachi Isdale. I mean, Julian Roberts, who played outside center against Seattle. I mean, I got to imagine the competition is pretty strong, right? All the guys want to get out there. They want to perform. How do you find yourself in a role where maybe you're giving advice to some of the younger wings or some of the younger players to level up everyone?
Yeah, I mean, we are in a fortunate state right now. I think we're the only team in the league that has like no injuries, knock on wood. So it's been great. We're able to actually do 15-on-15 in training. I was talking to some of the Seattle guys, and they're like, yeah, we do like 15v7 right now because they're just riddled with injuries.
Oh,
wow. So yeah, in that aspect, the competition is good. And going back to like the likes of Julian Roberts, like he can just play anywhere on the field. So yeah.
So we're watching on TV, and sometimes, right, the camera angles don't do justice, right? Because where they're placed, they point across, and you look in the background, and maybe that one section of the stands is in the sun, so everyone's sitting in the shade, and you hear it on the broadcast. You can hear the noise, you can hear the crowd getting into it. How have you found the crowd's been so far, at least this season, at American Legion Stadium?
Yeah, I honestly, for me, sometimes I don't even hear the crowd at all. I just try to pay attention to my teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crowd's been pretty good. I think that it could be better, obviously. But my some of the boys that I've been helping coach at UNCW came out this weekend. Their whole sevens team, UNCW being University of North Carolina, Wilmington. So they drove out. It was really cool to see them. And my family's always there. So yeah, those are the few people and things that I do here when I look up and try to find them. But yeah, no, I think the atmosphere has been good. I think our president Patrick Stack has been doing a good job of promoting the game.
You know what you need to get rid of that Grim Reaper. He's scaring everyone away. I wouldn't go near him in the stands.
Yeah, so my son, actually, my 3-year-old, he sees him and he's like, ooh, spooky. But he loves him. He goes up and he's like, what's up, spooky? That's what he calls him.
That's awesome. And I was there for the very first game a couple of years ago. And Fitz, you need to get there at some point because it has a beautiful view of the Charlotte skyline and a big video board there and all that stuff. And it has everything, I think, a smaller size MLR stadium has. It's just, it's getting those fans in there, which we're going to talk about in a minute, Conner, about the USA matches as well, going to be in that area too. So hopefully get some fans to come down for those. But
yeah,
one thing I want to ask Ashley about this season with the MLR refereeing systems, the new RSS system. Do you care to comment at all about how maybe that system has been working out so far? I mean, going from a player's point of view.
Yeah, sure. I'll give my personal opinion. I've been saying it since week 1. I think it's slowing down the game. They say it's meant to speed up the game, and I find myself just out there like, I have so much time sometimes. I felt pretty fresh in this last game, and it's because of those stoppages. And I get, like, obviously it's a new system, so there's going to be some kinks to it. They're still trying to figure it out, as are we. And I shouldn't complain too much because most of the calls go our way anyway. So, yeah, I think that there's some things that need to be ironed out, and maybe the refs don't need to blow their whistle that much. And also, I think that there's some things that, like, maybe aren't even being respected because you can only challenge it in a certain amount of phases. And then sometimes I'm finding that they're challenging it like 10 phases before. And so maybe just some inconsistencies as well. But as a player, I feel like it's been slowing some games down.
Yeah. I think the 1 or 2 times I played in the wing a long time ago, I felt it was slow for me because no one passed me the ball, but that's a different situation.
That's a different story.
Yeah. Fitzy, I believe you wanted to say something about another question about the RSS.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this relates to Ralph or Wreck-It Will Sherman. The guy scores his first MLR try and is probably a knock on, but
100%. 100%. Won't even lie to you. It was a knock on. Yeah. And we even we had an honesty call, like, bro, did you score it? He said no. So anyway, we're gonna move past that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Fitzy. All right, let's jump into USA Rugby. Conner, we talked about Cuca earlier. His coaching, let's say, style play he wants to play with Anthem. Is there any influence from Scott Lawrence and the USA side how they want him to do it, or is he coaching the way he wants to coach?
I'm sure there's influence. I mean, everyone is connected to some capacity. And yeah, you just got to imagine that Scott is in conversation with them weekly. I don't personally know, but obviously, like I said before, he is an emotional coach and he will coach the way that he wants to. So whether it's fully him or Scott's influence, it definitely feels a lot from him.
Which should only help, I would believe. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where the Eagles and Scott held the alignment camp out in California. Well, long ago, back in February, a long time ago. You were one of the players. Yeah, you were one of the players. How did it feel to be included in that mix? And then what are your goals internationally for 26?
Yeah, it felt good. There was a lot of new faces. A lot of guys that I didn't know, and a lot of like old faces that I was kind of missing, to be honest. But regardless of all that, yeah, obviously excited for what's to come, and the goal is always to be in the mix with USA Rugby.
Yeah.
So, Connor, obviously, qualification for Rugby World Cup 2027 in the books, courtesy of that win against Samoa last year, which was solid. So we know, obviously, the men's Eagles, who they're going to play in Australia and pool play. But before we get to all of that, right, we've got the inaugural World Rugby Nations Cup, an idea that's been kicking around for a while, and it's kicking off with the U.S. hosting in July, 3 matches, which is awesome. 2 of them obviously taking place there in North Carolina, one at Anthem's home ground in Charlotte, July 11th, against Zimbabwe. And I believe these are against all nations that have qualified for Rugby World Cup 27. The other one in North Carolina is taking place in Cary, North Carolina there. But as Bill mentioned earlier, can we pack the house for that July 11th match against the American in that American Legion Stadium? What do we need to do?
Yeah, I think last year there was a good turnout when I came down. I was coming to visit to just watch the game from the coast. I was excited to see the boys play. But yeah, there was definitely a lot more fans there for the USA game than there was for any Anthem game, which, to be fair, like, that's to be expected regardless. And especially an Anthem team that lost every single game. So respect to all the people who did come out to all the games for Anthem. But yeah, it was actually a good turnout. And then that was the game that there was also a lightning delay and everything, and people stayed around. So yeah, hopefully we can get more people even this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get down to one of those. Fitz, you should come from the West Coast.
Bill, fly me out. I'll be happy to join.
Yep. All right. So where we're going from here? You got me confused all of a sudden. I confused myself. I know we talked about some of your goals internationally. You know, only 31, 32 players will make the 27 World Cup roster. You know, obviously every domestic qualified player wants to be on it. What are you doing? What can you control to put yourself in the best situation?
I mean, availability is the best thing. I've been, we talked about it a little bit earlier, how my career I've been kind of riddled with injuries every couple of years. So it's just staying healthy, to be honest. Yeah. It's all the guys staying healthy, just so they can be available to be selected.
Nice, man. And your confidence is back? I know after certain injuries, especially tough injuries, it takes a while.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a big injury like a labrum tear or an ACL or something like that, that's the only way to come back, is to come back as your former self, if not better. Like you can't be tentative, or I don't know, even like I feel like even taping it is a little bit of a cop out in some sense, even though I do it myself. Like I feel like, I don't know, like speaking hypothetically, like you actually don't need that tape because they did repair what's in there. So yeah, you don't even need that.
Well, Conner, one more thing for you. Have a request. When you score your next try, in a corner, hopefully next to a camera, broadcast camera, we want to go right into the camera and say, "Watch U.S. Rugby Happy Hour." No, don't do it.
I'll play the AI song that you had on.
There you go.
well, Bill, hold on, Bill, because Conner, one thing I probably should have mentioned here, but Bill and I are part of a fantasy Major League Rugby community. I played Bill this past weekend. I did beat him. Conner, you were one of my starting back 3 players. So counting on you to continue to be available, continue to put up points. And look, if I win a fantasy MLR championship, it's going to be shared glory. Not just me, but all the players on my squad. I just want to say thank you. Just keep
that. I like that. Maybe like a little $5 like gold trophy that you can send in with a little engraving. Thanks for fantasy. I
like that.
A little something for the players. I think my dad might be a part of that league as well, which is kind of funny because he was just talking about it recently.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because on the Discord channel that we have, someone who I believe is related to you, and I think we figured it out, it is your dad, predicted that you were going to score 2 tries in the first match, and sure enough, it happened. So
that's so funny.
Insider trading, man. Insider trading. What's going on here?
That's actually crazy. What's the username so I can know?
Do
you remember?
Yeah.
I bet you I could tell you right now. I know my dad's username.
Oh, I'd have to dig and find it. Oh no.
It'd be awesome if it was Conner Mooneyham.
It probably has the word moon in it somewhere, which is a quick out for himself as well. Like,
could it be Bad Moon Rising?
Yeah, 100%. That's it.
Is he a Credence fan too?
I don't know. It's either Bad Moon Rising or Dark Moon Rising. I don't know. That's him though, for sure. Call him out, Doug. Doug Mooneyham.
That's awesome. Definitely doing that. Definitely doing that.
That's so funny.
All right. Well, son of Doug.
Is that you?
Yeah. All right, son of Doug. Thank you, man. This has been a blast, Conner, to catch up. Again, we're cheering for you, man. Cheering for you internationally. MLR. We love what Anthem's doing. So good luck in the season. And when you come up to New England, let's say hello after the match.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys should get on my roommate next, Tom Pittman.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Reach out to him.
Is he laying on the couch next to you or something like that?
He's laying right over there. Yeah.
Flip him over real quick.
Yeah, get him on. Start him in fantasy as well. I back him.
I've got him. I've got him on my squad too.
See? And he won. That's what I'm talking about, Tom. See?
Come on, cheers, bro.
All right, Conner. Hey, thanks again, and good luck this weekend.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right, bye.
All right, we kicked him off on our terms this time. Oh, yeah, I enjoyed talking to him, and I'm really happy he's back. You know, and I think, in my opinion, he's just faster than I've seen him in a while. And I think that's a few of the players out there. You know, one of the guy from California Legion, the wing. He's been so fast. It's good, but again, for Conner specifically, it's so good to see him out there.
I think Conner, what you need at the international level on the wings are guys that are big and fast and strong and have a good aerial game that can jump up and get the high ball. And I think Conner definitely brings that. That's why he's continued to be part of that larger player pool. So as long as he's fit and healthy, man, he's going to be in the mix for sure.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Thank you. Everybody else, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in or watching or listening to this show. Please like, follow, subscribe, and please leave comments, especially on the YouTube channel. Anything it goes along. We like reading stuff about us, especially good things. Thanks, everybody. See you and talk to you next time.